Good morning and happy Monday. Welcome back to the Daily Grind. I'm your host, Chump Change. This is live and recorded. For those of you that don't know, what we typically do is go over crypto news in the space, or news in general. In this case, I update myself, bring you guys along for the ride. Let's see who's here in the house, and then we'll get into this. Mr. Luke, what's up, dude? Good to see you, man. Nismo Miner, we got Backwards Miner in the house. Mr. Olo, I'm just gonna call you that because I'm probably gonna butcher that, and I apologize. Kyle Rosa, Kyle Rosa, what's up, dude? Good to see you, man. Dan R, good morning, sir. Good morning. Steven Cicero, Octaspace will be coming to Unminable, which is pretty cool. I got the email back this morning, so hopefully that's a thing soon. We have Patrick Murphy, what's up, dude? Good to see you. All set, my man. Everybody else I may have missed, I apologize. Geek of all trades, actually. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. All right, let's get into this. Bitcoin looks like 67,076 bucks. Looks pretty good, actually. Looks really good. Ethereum 3,096. We got the Ethereum Etf, the denial or approval this week. It's most likely going to be a denial. I believe it's on the 23rd, if I'm not mistaken. But hey, we're gonna watch a few videos about that today, and we actually had some news last night. Actually, the Iran president was killed in a helicopter crash or something, so we're gonna watch some news clips on that and stuff. Anyways, let's move on. Solana 177 bucks. We got ADA at 46 cents, XRP's at 51 cents. Let's see, Caspa is at 12.3 as of right now, 12 cents. Let's see, LTC $83. Let's see, yeah, it went down. Hope war stops. Yeah, I hope so too. But mainly because of prices of like gold and oil and stuff. That's pretty much the clips are about. ETC 28 bucks. Let's see, nothing else really jumping out at me. Everything's just kind of, it's a Monday, you know. Whiff hat is up 5.23% today. Interesting. All right, let's jump over to crypto bubbles and see. We got, again, Whiff 5.5% as of right now. Theta up 5.5% as well. Let's see, what do we got? $2.27. Bonk is up 5.1%. We got Pyth up 6% to 44 cents. Solana again up 4.6%. Let's see, Sui 3.8% today to $1.09. Let's see, Render is down 2.5% to $10.19. Actually still pretty good. $10 is still, as long as it's above 10 bucks, I'm happy with it. Jupiter 1.9% down, $1.22. Really nothing is like jumping out though. We have Celestia 5.1% down, 8.72 cents, $8.72. Let's see, sending all my rigs to you. Who are you sending all your rigs to? Geek of all trades. Cut it out. Solana to 2K. You think what? Bruh, what? No, bruh, no. 2K, you think it's gonna go to 2K? Really? Maybe. I hope so. That would be actually sick. That would be sick. But I think, like, listen, we gotta get to $500 first, and then we gotta get to 1,000. 2K. Geek of all trades, killing me. That's a lot of hopium over there you're smoking this morning. Cut it out. All right, we got Fear and Greed Index over here at 70. Still pretty neutral to me, honestly. Last week seemed like we were getting a little bit more towards the greed section of things, but we'll have to see. Shark Farmer thinks 5K for Solana. Really? That's a lot. That's a lot. I guess we'll have to see. Only time will tell. Nobody knows, right? Nobody knows at the end of the day. It could totally go there, but we'll look at it in a second. All right, trending coins. Let me just refresh this. Pyth Network is 6.4% up today. Again, Ponky is up 31.8. That is 46 cents. And then Notcoin, whatever that is at a half a penny, down 5.7%. All right, top 10 coins by coin market cap over on CoinGecko. We have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, Solana, USDC, Lotto Staked Ether, XRP, Toncoin, and Dogecoin. Real quick, Solana. All right, we have a $79 billion market cap. If we, all right, we'd have to 5x to get to like $1,000. You think that's gonna happen? Times that number by 5. That's a big market cap. That would be way above Bitcoin at that point. But obviously Bitcoin would go there. I don't think it's gonna happen. I would like to see 500 on Solana. I think that's a possibility for sure. 5x on that market cap's a lot. That's a lot. That's a real lot. All right, anyways, Dogecoin again in 10th place at a $21.7 billion market cap. ADA is right below that at $16.5 billion. Looking looking pretty strong though. Everything's like really not moved at all. Toncoin's holding way better than I thought it was going to hold, at 22 billion, above Dogecoin, which is kind of crazy. Let's see. I mean, at the end of the day, Dogecoin is a meme coin, so it is what it is. Thanks, Crypto KJ. Let's see. All right, Fetch AI. Is anybody into Fetch AI? I don't know if this is going to be a good one or not. What is this? Weird. Let's see the max chart on this thing. I actually honestly haven't looked at this at all. Oh wow, we had a big run up here, huh? Damn, is anybody into this? Fetch AI? Anybody? Jeez, that thing had a freaking boner candle and a half. Look at that. That's nuts. Nice run up, huh? It's all-time high, $3.45. About 2 months ago, 34.5% down. Interesting. That's making a nice flag, actually. I wonder, I need to look into this project a little bit more. I sold my Fetch at 50 cents. Damn, that sucks. Vanderbilt University has a free course on AI prompt engineering, 3 weeks long. Great for working from home. I start my course in 2 weeks. Wait, what? Geek of all trades, send me some info on that, will you? That's kind of neat, actually. All right, let's scroll down a little bit. ETC, Ethereum Classic, 28 bucks. I think Ethereum Classic's gonna do well. Hopefully it starts lifting off a little bit. I wonder if we're gonna see a buy the rumor, sell the news type deal this week. Like today, if Ethereum's gonna go up a bit, and tomorrow and the next day, right? I think the 23rd is the day. So what's that, Wednesday? Is that when? No, that's Thursday, right? If I'm not mistaken. So approval or denial on Thursday. I think Ethereum Classic's gonna do well. We're gonna see. I wonder if this will pump and if Ethereum will pump. I really do. Ethereum's at just under 3,100 bucks right now, so not too bad. Anyways, all right, let's move on to the mining segment of things. Let's see what these coins are looking like, or these miners are looking like today over here. How profitable we are on the KS5 Pro 21 terahash unit, making $87 a day. 87.16 to be exact. We get the KS5 20 terahash unit making 83.01. Look at that. KS5L 12 terahash unit making 45.97. We get the AL box 360 gigahash unit at 180 watts. This miner still kills me that it's such low power. It's insane. 20 Ethereum you're gonna be yielding at $40.25 a day. How's Ethereum looking? Actually, I haven't looked at that in a while. Ethereum's so high up on the chain, it doesn't even go, it's not even top 100, so it's never there. 349th place. Wow, it's way up, huh? Damn, this thing's been taking a beat in the last couple days, huh? Oh, actually, I shouldn't even say the last couple days, like last month, because the last couple days actually it's been going up. Last month took a beating. It was about $1 down. Crazy. From 3 months ago, 377 down to $1.88 now. Crazy. Again, the all-time high was $3.86. So, I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think about this coin? 51% down. I feel like I don't know. If another miner comes out right now, this coin's going to be smashed. Andrew besides lithium for the win. Glad I sold this Nismo miner. Me too. Me too. Everyone gave me shit too when I sold it, but hey, you know what? Take it as you will. It's I don't know. These new machines, when they come out, they can be real big hits or real big misses, right? And this one's actually, it's surviving a bit at the top of the charts, right? Which is good. But there's a lot of sell pressure. It's just, you know, it's what happens. So I'm glad they didn't release 2 miners at once. It's only 1, right? So is what it is. I hope people make their money back on these before another one comes out, to say the least. All right, the Ivy Link BMKS Max 11 terahash unit making $39.20 a day. Again, this is after 10 cents per kilowatt hour that you're paying on your electric bill. This is all profit. The Windminer K9 10.3 terahash unit make $38.54. Right, 54 cents. God, I can't talk this morning. 38.54. Jesus. The Ice River KS3 8 terahash unit, $28.40. We got the X16P 5.8 gigahash unit mining ETH and ZIL, $24 a day, just about. The KS3M 6 terahash unit making $18.90. That's, man, bruh, that's going down so fast, so fast. I wonder if we have another rip up, I wonder how crazy these Caspa miners will be again if we get another all-time high for Caspa, because the all-time high was what, 18 cents or something, almost 19 cents. If we break up to like a quarter or something, how crazy would these miners be? I wonder. I really wonder. Now let's see. They have a few generations lined up, says Shark Farmer. What, for the these right here, for the lithium miners? I'm sure they do, for sure. Like 1000%. All right, so let's see. We have the Antminer L79050. This is the unit I have down at Terra Hosting. Shout out to them. I'm paying 9.5 cents per kilowatt hour, $11 a day, a little more than that, $11.08. This thing is a 3-year-old machine and still killing it. We were actually talking about Locotech and what's going on with them on Saturday night. I really hope that they come out sooner than later with their hash blade, because man, the wattage for the yield on those are going to be crazy. If it's, you know, if everything comes out exactly how they say it's going to come out. I just hope it comes out closer or before the L9, because the L9 is really going to be the I don't know, they're going to be fighting head to head, I think. Let's see. Wow, no Superman for you. What are you saying, Cape Cod Crypto? What are you saying? That's a big if. Yeah, it's a big if. I haven't heard much. I guess they're going to be at Mining Disrupt though, so I guess we'll see if the new prototype's there, hopefully. All right, Jazzminer X16Q. I actually had this thing running. I actually did shut it off because I'm trying to save some money on my electric bill. As you guys know, even though it's profitable, I probably should just keep it on. Even at 30 cents, I'm still making $5 a day. I'm probably going to turn it back on today, but it was getting a little bit hot down here. I have it running like right here on the floor next to me. So mining ETHW and ZIL. I actually had it go into ETHW over on a mineable just to stack more Caspa. But I think I kind of want to switch to mining ETC just through a normal pool, like 2 miners or something, or hero miners. Again, $8.14 a day if you're actually mining ETHW and ZIL at 10 cents kilowatt hour. We have the Ice River KS2 2 terahash unit making $6.14 a day. That's terrible. I hope, you know what, does anybody have this, a KS2 or a KS1, like the last batches? Did you guys ever get your money back out of them? That's what I would love to know. If the people that purchased these, the last batches, if you got your money back. I'm really interested to know that. So if anybody has one, please let me know. 1 terahash unit, the KS1, 600 watts, $3.05 a day. Terrible. You guys know I stacked the KS0 Pros to make a basically a KS1, right? 1 terahash unit for 500 watts, or a little less than 500 watts. Let's go see what we're looking at. The KS0 Pro 200 gigahash unit makes 66 cents a day. It's not bad because I'm running my stuff on solar, and oh my god, I can't wait for my solar stuff to come. If you guys didn't see my solar video that I did last week, kind of talking about the kit that I'm getting from Signature Solar, it's gonna be amazing. I can't wait. I purchased it. Half of it is saying that it's processing to ship. They printed the label. I can't wait until the rest of it comes or starts shipping. It's gonna be amazing. Ice River KS0 100 gigahash unit making 29 cents a day. That's pretty terrible. All right, let's see my S19K. Where are we at? Crypto Frank, what's up, dude? Good to see you. All right, the Bitmain S19K Pro 120 terahash unit. I'm losing 34 cents a day. Bruh. And payback time is never. Oh, it's terrible. Yusuf, you're crap. What is that? KS0 Pro is crap. Get out. KS0 is crap, he says. I'm just kidding. I love you, buddy. But it is one of the best low wattage miners you can find, right? And that's the main reason I bought them. It's for solar. It's not for mainly running it at my house. But anyways, all right, let's move on to GPUs. See what the most profitable coin is over here. I know we got that consensus coin got rugged or some shit, didn't it? And then we had some actually, how's Zephyrus doing? I heard that came back. Heard it had a nice pump. Oh, came back and then died again. What happened? 15.1% down. 7 days. Yeah. Oh wow. All right. So it did have like a 50% drop off. Jesus. And then it came back a bit yesterday. So at least it came back. That's kind of cool for the most part, right? Its all-time high was $52 6 months ago. What? How can you trust a coin like that? What? That's real? Oh my god. I never realized it went up that high. That's crazy. But man, they took a decent hit, huh? That's crazy. Anyways, all right. Moving on, Ironfish and Pyron over here on the 4090. Ironfish seems to be the winner of most cards lately. We have Cortex over here on the 4080 and Ironfish and Pyron. We got Flux on the 4070 Ti, Conflux and Pyron on the 3080 Ti. Actually, Pyron's going through a 5th inning soon. I'm not mistaken. Is it today? Is that today, later on today? Or is that like in a couple days? I forget. We're gonna see in a minute, actually. Let's see. We have NER AI over here on the 6800 XT. Chlor also on the 6800 XT. Ironfish and Graham. They have Xano on the 7900 XT. 3070 Eternity. That's how you say that. I think it is. And then we have Conflux and Pyron. Looking pretty good. Flux. I haven't seen Flux on top of the charts in a while. What is Flux looking like right now? Up 0.44%. Look at that. 89 cents. Nice. Nice. How's Flux been doing? Last couple months. Let's just see. You guys know these charts are ass. They're just kind of whatever, but gives you an idea. Crazy. I sold like right here. Like right here to buy my S19K. Right here. Literally right here. 44 cents is when I sold out of mine. Stupid. Bruh. Idiot. I should have just held it. But I was sick of it going sideways. It wasn't doing anything. It was bothering me. I was like, you know what? I'm getting out of this. Getting into something else. And now I'm ROIing never on this freaking S19K. Where did it go? Right here. Damn it. Boo you. Boo you. Being stupid. All right, let's see the CPUs real quick. Zephyrus still top of the CPU chart over here. You know what? I haven't looked at this ever. I think I'm going to start doing this, just checking the CPUs. See if there's any different CPU coins here. Zephyrus is top of the charts, literally across everything. Even on Intel. Wow. Are people mining, CPU mining on Intels? Seriously? Isn't that like not really that profitable? Interesting. Anyways, I'll have to check into that a little bit more. All right, over here, new coins. Let's see what we're looking like. What in the hell? We have 3 new coins that I haven't seen. Tusk? How do you say that? Tusk? How do you say that? Random Tusk? What is this? What is this? What's happening here? Is this a CPU coin? Please let me know. Let me know. Is this a CPU coin? It seems, yeah, seems like it. Where's the website? If you guys leave this site, visit these websites at your own risk, please. Layer 1 blockchain focused on private and censorship resistant transactions. The majority of existing cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin and Ethereum, have transparent blockchains. Transactions can be verified and or traced by anyone in the world. This means that sending and receiving addresses of these transactions could potentially be linked to real-world identities. Tusk, on the other hand, uses various technologies to ensure privacy of its users, and it will be shut down by the government. Okay, perfect. Not going to get into this one. Move back to the other coins. So we got Ragu coin. This is the sauce. You know, this is the one you guys are talking about in my Mahalo gang chat over there in Discord. That's a riot. Somebody said, did you hear about the Ragu coin or whatever the hell it's called? Rogu, whatever the frig it is. Mass boost was like the sauce, and I died. I literally died. It was so funny. Let's see what this is. All right. Mainnet is live. Rogu, I'm just gonna call it that because I think that's how you say it. Serves as the financial foundation of the Raguma social network. Raguma is the innovative platform that helps content creators take audience engagements to a new level. All right, I'm out. I am out. If it's profitable, mine it and sell it. My opinion. Fewbit. What the hell's Fewbit? Ghost Rider. Another CPU coin. Let's see. Fewbit.net. I don't know what this is either. A landing page will be available in 1 day, 15 hours, and 19 minutes. Oh wow, this one's really early. Okay, well, there you go. Really early coin. No idea what that is, but have at it if you would. 5 days old, and these two are 8 days old. Interesting. Very interesting. No, it was so funny when he was like the sauce. It was so great. Anyways, all right, Pyron. So it's tomorrow. Tomorrow we're gonna see a fifthening from 17 to 14 on Pyron, and then Ethereum Classic in 10 days going through a fifthening as well. 2.56 Ethereum Classic per block to 2.048. Looks pretty good. Then we have Gold Cash and Anixum. That's how you say that, man. I feel like I butcher that name every single time. Also, what the hell is a hydro fork? What is a hydro fork? I have never heard that term before in my life. What is that? Somebody explain, please. What is that? Oh, Ironfish went through that. Oh no, it's hard fork. Why does this one say hydro? Is that a typo or is that right? What does that mean? I have to look this up. Hold on. Nope, that says hard fork. It's unclear whether hydro forks will use hot or another, like, I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna have to look into that a little more. If anybody knows, please throw it in the chat. I've never heard of a hydro fork in my life. Strange. All right, anyways, moving on to the news segment of things. Let's see. Iran's president was killed in a helicopter crash, and this could affect things. We're gonna see what they gotta say over here. We're just gonna listen to a few clips of this gold, oil, BS, and yeah, let's do it.
Iran's Mehr news agency says President Ibrahim Raisi and the country's foreign minister have been killed in a helicopter crash. Emergency crews earlier reported seeing wreckage after hours of complicated search efforts. Our Middle East economy and government editor Paul Wallace joins us for the latest. Well, the news was coming thick and fast over the course of the evening. It wasn't until about 10 minutes ago that the semi-official Iranian state TV actually confirmed that the president has been killed. This is
oh, it's just a fancy name for proof of stake. Are you serious? Hydro fork? That's crazy. Okay, well, thank you, Kyle Rosa. I didn't know that.
Huge moment. But just describe to us what we know and how this news came about.
Hi, Jemana. Well, this crash happened at around midday yesterday in a mountainous area of the northwest of the country when Raisi and other officials, including Foreign Minister Hussein Amir Abdullahian, were coming back from the border with Azerbaijan. There was a lot of confusion initially. Iranian state media was describing it variously as a crash and a hard landing. It became clear that it was, in fact, a crash and things were not looking good late last night. It was very difficult for the rescue teams. As I said, this was a mountainous area. The weather was not good. There was a lot of fog. The crash site was located sometime early this morning, and then around 2-3 hours ago, Iranian state media said there was no sign of life at the crash site, which I think was the first real sign that the president had probably died, and that's something that the semi-official state news agency has just confirmed.
So President Raisi,
does this all mean that like the war will hopefully stop over there?
He was seen as a protege and a potential successor to the supreme leader, the Ayatollah Khamenei. What happens next? What are the next steps?
That is a big question. The government itself has not put out an official statement yet, saying, for example, who now takes over. It's likely to be the senior vice president, someone who's called Mohammed Mokber. In some ways, a lot of what's gone on in Iran in the last couple of years, in terms of its foreign policy, in terms of the proxies, in terms of tensions with Israel and the US, were not down to Raisi so much as the supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. He obviously remains in position. Yesterday, he was tweeting, urging Iranians to show calm, and said that whatever happened, whatever the outcome was of this crash, that things would remain stable. It's likely that there will have to be an election within about 50 days. Most analysts don't think that Mokber, the vice president, will remain in that position beyond those elections, that it will be someone else. We'll have to see who, and obviously people will be watching very closely to see if the front runners that emerge in the election are also ultra-conservative clerics like Raisi was.
Who has spearheaded many of those projects in the last couple of years and is seen as one of the more hawkish and hard-leaning presidents that have come out of the Iranian regime in the last decade. So exactly. Something that we need to watch out for.
That's crazy. Real quick, Crypto Frank said, did you see that we are raising import tariffs of cars from China from 25% to 100%? Bruh. What? No, I didn't see that. That's insane. That's crazy. All right. Gold climbs to record on Fed rate cut hopes. Let's see what they got to say over here on Bloomberg Television. Let's do it.
We can't forget gold either, Martin. Quite a run as well, continuing to hit another record. I mean, the thing keeps moving and moving just when you think that the gold trade is exhausted. Does the macro narrative of one that we're looking at now, where cuts are looking better, the data is weaker, do we need to continue to see that to see a trend of still gold buying?
You know, you can like, you could buy like a pickup truck from China in like a milk crate. they'll like send it over in this big ass wooden crate, and it's not even big. It's probably like size of my desk. It's like the smallest pickup truck you've ever seen in your life. I saw a video on it. It was hysterical. A guy paid like $2,500 for it. Like just delivered him a truck that was like tiny. It was so funny.
Look, I'd point out three different things for gold. Just a very immediate thing today, the death in the plane crash, helicopter crash, sorry, of the Iranian president and foreign minister. Obviously, gold always has a kind of knee-jerk reaction to geopolitical risk and uncertainties. That's one thing. Secondly, as you mentioned, we've seen the kind of euphoria in bond markets over the past week. We've seen people expecting perhaps the Fed to cut rates sooner rather than later again. And that's helpful for gold as always. But then thirdly, and this is a more sort of undertow in the gold market, is about central bank buying, which has been a constant over the past 12 months. And when we see, you had this in a previous conversation, I think you're talking about sanctions. When we see, for example, China and US trade tensions getting worse, that's also an environment, I think, where people start to think about de-dollarization whenever there's talk of more trade disruptions, more sanctions.
All right, moving on. Let's see what we got over here. Oil prices likely won't spike amid Iran leadership shakeup. Let's see what they got to say over here on CNBC.
Give us some perspective on this. It's really dominating a lot of headlines when it comes to global news, but the president of Iran, it is mostly a symbolic position. The supreme leader has most of the control over the country. However, you say this is important. Ebrahim Raisi is a hardliner who could have been next in line to be the supreme leader. How should investors view his passing along with the death of the foreign minister?
Well, the passing of the president and the foreign minister and entourage in the helicopter crash in Iran comes at a time when investors are paying a little bit more attention to the Middle East than they used to. And just a few weeks after Iran and Israel, exchanged ballistic missile fire in an unprecedented increase in tension. So it's right to look at what's happening there. As you said, the office of the president, Ebrahim Raisi's position is largely ceremonial, but he was tipped to be a successor. So I think of all of the moving pieces that are going on in the Middle East right now, we're going to be seeing a tightly managed succession process happening with Iran, new elections coming within 50 days, and not a likely spike in the oil price risk premium.
Yeah, I want to talk about the oil prices in just a minute, but I want to talk to you about those succession plans. So Iran has actually been very vocal about trying to stress there's going to be continuity in government. But at the same time, could this signal a possible shift in policy either in the Middle East, possibly towards Saudi Arabia, maybe towards the U.S.? And of course, the question is, does this lead to any change in the stance against Israel?
Well, again, it's the right question to ask because the Iranian leadership, through its proxies, Hamas, obviously, the Houthi rebels who have been causing so much disruption to supply chains in the Red Sea, and Hezbollah, the hopes from the West and others that Iran might change its stance are present, but not very well founded. In my view, the Iranian leadership, the supreme leader, who is the ultimate holder of power, is going to be at great pains to emphasize continuity. Russia, for example, will be looking to make sure that Iran still provides it with those Shahed drones that it's using in its fight against Ukraine. Continuity and managed succession will be paramount, but remember that Raisi will not be mourned by many. He was known as the butcher of Tehran. Iran is a country of 80 million people, and many tens of millions of them will not be sorry that he is gone.
You know, according to your research, you also mentioned that he was elected president, but it was during historically low turnout. So it may not be representative of the complete sentiment of the population. Okay, I do want to talk to you about the oil price. So we're going to show the oil prices, Brent crude in particular, the international benchmark since October the 7th. That's when we saw that Hamas attack on Israel. And since then, if you look at the international benchmark, and this is a head scratcher for me, oil prices are actually down. They're down more than 0.5%. While I was in London, we spoke to a number of oil analysts, and we kept hearing over and over and over again that oil prices, they were kind of stuck, but if there was any type of geopolitical disruption, they could spike. We've continued to see a number of disruptions, military actions and other things. In your mind, what's the outlook for the oil market on this news? Does it possibly have an impact?
So it is a head scratcher, as you say, but there's one really important change in trend in recent years, and that is the advent of U.S. energy independence and shale gas. That really explains why oil prices aren't moving in response to Middle East risks. However, I would caution that doesn't mean that Middle East geopolitical risks are of no significance for the investment environment broadly. And we, again, have so many moving pieces. The war in Gaza, also the fact that Mohammed bin Salman has canceled his trip to Japan over...
Alien Black, thanks for becoming a chump change VIP. I don't know why it still says that, but welcome to the Hollow Gang. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you very much.
Reports that his father is ailing. That probably means that he's seriously unwell if state media in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia are reporting that. But I don't expect that the death of Ibrahim Raisi is going to change policy in Iran. The thing to watch would be if the domestic opposition to the regime, which again is strong, were to try to push for change. I think they are pretty flattened after the harsh crackdown following the protests over dress code. And remember the Green Movement in 2008, 2009. Thousands were executed after that. Raisi and his ilk were part of it.
Interesting. All right. Oh, God. That was loud. How was that? Anyways, all right. NVIDIA to report earnings this week. Here's what you need to know. Let's see what they got to say over here. CNBC Television. Let's do it.
It's now with a preview. Paul Meeks, Harvest Portfolio Management Co-CIO. Already, Paul, we have seen, I don't think they're really traders, but we've seen some profit taking from certain people with NVIDIA. It's up so much. Do you expect this to be blowout like it's been in recent quarters and the stock to trade higher? Since it's come back, but it has stalled for the last couple of months.
That's a good point, Joe. I would say that, you know, the markers out there for $5.57 EPS, 24.57 billion in revenues. I expect them to easily beat those figures. What I'm specifically looking for is at least $26 billion in revenues. And I think if they do not to beat the numbers by that much of a magnitude, I actually think some investors will be disappointed. So everybody knows that the near-term fundamentals are absolutely stellar. But the big question is, how long is the runway? What happens if everybody and their brother finishes building these large language models? Does NVIDIA continue to grow at these rates with this kind of profitability and cash flow? So, of course, what the company has to do on the conference call is give us what we need, a nice big beat for this quarter, good guidance for the next, and really make us feel at least on a broader perspective, that there is a long runway here, that its competitors, which have been announcing competing products left and right, are further behind than people think. Even when these competitors ship their chips, they won't take as much market share from NVIDIA as folks think, and that NVIDIA will continue to have as dominant a market share in AI inference as they've had in AI language, large language model building. So we'll see. It's definitely going to be a thriller on Wednesday afternoon.
Dude, look at the price. That's crazy. From 2023 to 2024, where we're at now, NVIDIA has freaking just skyrocketed. Anybody into NVIDIA? Does anybody hold it? I assume I know some people that have it in the chat, but just how many of you guys actually have? Put a 1 in the chat if you own NVIDIA stock.
Does inferencing have to eventually replace the build
Good for you
out?
guys. Awesome.
And will there always be upgrades? Will there always be another cycle of even better things, or will there come a point where you do start to see the growth slowing, even if it's not competitors, just in terms of what people need?
Well, that's the absolute key, Joe. So this year the company's going to double its EPS. Next year, the street has 30% growth rate. But, 30% is wonderful, but it is a slowdown from what they'll do this year. Yeah, the key thing is NVIDIA absolutely dominates and probably will continue to dominate the chips for the build-out, the early build-out, large language model building. The next step in the AI technology chain is inference. Now, inference does not require as strong a computing power, as much computing power. So do they see their market share fade a little bit? It could happen. And Joe, it's an excellent question that you ask, and that's what I'm watching very carefully. NVIDIA has great execution. We'll see what happens. It's not what happens really with their competitors, is how long is this runway?
But the competitors are focusing on the next step, or still trying to make inroads in the large language model build out, or are they focusing on the inferencing part? And is that when the real competition hits, or does it ever hit?
I think that the real competition hits in inferencing, but they're all chasing large language model building, because one of the things that we learned, Joe, from this most recent round of quarterly reports is that the tech majors who are already spending a ton on this have just ratcheted their capital expenditures up even more, right? Amazon's going to spend $60 billion. Meta and Google and Microsoft are going to spend at least $40 billion each. And Zuckerberg said on his conference call that is the new normal, and that in future years, they don't peak at $40 billion. They go higher in the next couple. And so the key will be, can folks like AMD catch up in the large language model building? Because it will go for some time. And what are they going to do in inference? Even NVIDIA has announced another round of chips recently, the Blackwell chip. Right. So we'll see. Right now they have a nice lead, but of course, everybody's coming at them hard.
Crazy. All right, let's see. One last thing. Fed just can't wait to cut interest rates. Let's see what they got to say over here again on CNBC television. Let's do it.
Join us now to talk inflation, the Fed, and more. Srikumar, Global Strategies president. They do talk a lot, and some people think that all that guidance is part of the problem, but other people like transparency, Sri. But after last Wednesday, I think it was Wednesday, after the CPI, soft landing, back on. We're Goldilocks, back on. Rate cuts, back on. It only took one number to make us think that everything the first 3 months of hotter numbers of inflation and questioning all that stuff, now is it back? The Fed has done it.
We have had this happen time and time again, Joe, and after Wednesday, it happened yet again. Every time they have one positive statistic, it is just saying everything, we just hallelujah, it's great time. And it is not. You should remind listeners that in October of last year, the month-on-month inflation rate for the same measure, which went down from 0.4 to 0.3, that's what caused the rally from Wednesday, it was only 0.1%, and then it accelerated sharply in the following months.
In October of 2023, it was
October of 2023,
0.1.
0.1, and then it starts to accelerate November, December, and then we reached 0.4 and then came to 0.3. So we are still above October. Why isn't the market feeling upset about it rather than going up? The Fed people you've mentioned, quite rightly so, the Fed speaks too much. They contradict each other, and they just can't wait to cut interest rates.
Why?
I have lots of reasons. I think it's an election year. I've kept repeating it. They want to cut it in an election year. They keep repeating that they don't look at the political calendar, but the political calendar is very important.
It kind of signals that they've licked inflation too, that they were successful.
Exactly.
That they did
to
it.
show that they are successful and they are doing it, number one. And again, with the two candidates, and I don't have to guess, President Biden has said twice, including at a press conference at the White House recently, he expects a rate cut before the end of the year. And this is from somebody who says they do not interfere in monetary policy. Then you have Donald Trump, who has also said that if elected, he will not nominate Jerome Powell for another term. So take your pick.
Oh, damn.
You have all the political things in front of you, and it is not surprising at all that the Fed behaves the way it does.
Is the economy finally moderating, Sri, or not?
The economy seems to be moderating. There are so many signs from the labor market suggesting fewer job openings, increased amount of jobless benefit. They all suggest that there is a slowing that is taking place gradually.
Yeah, the art market.
But
yeah.
it is not clear to me that that also means immediately that inflation is going to come down. That's where the problem lies.
Yeah, then you got the stag thing that starts with stag. You think eventually they're so dead set on cutting that they will?
They are dead set on cutting it, but right now they can't do it. It can't be in the June meeting. You have to wait until September, and I'm guessing before September something is going to go awry in the whole problem. Then the Fed is again thinking about what are they going to do in September.
Wait, something go awry? You mean like commercial real estate markets bottom, banks have troubles, something along those lines?
Not things breaking yet, Becky. Let me divide into two parts. Something goes wrong in terms of signs of inflation picking up again.
Okay.
That's number one.
So they can't cut rates.
Second, on the other side, as you said, commercial real estate just breaks, or suddenly you discover a new banking problem, which is a medium-sized bank rather than a smaller bank, either of which means all bets are off. The Fed has shown you time and time again, they talk inflation, but what they are all about is saving the system and flooding the market with liquidity. September 2008, September 2019, I don't expect this September to be very different either.
Damn. Well, there's that. Everything's going to shit. All right, here we go. Ethereum ETF warning. Let's see what Lark Davis got to say over here. Moving on to videos of the day. Let's get into it. I haven't watched this yet, so let's do it.
The first two physically backed Ethereum spot ETF.
Finally, the volume is like normal. I don't know what's up with the news channels lately. The volume is like way lower than normal.
Applications are about to find out their final fate. Approval or denial. We're only days away. Ethereum ETFs are already trading, of course, in Hong Kong, Canada, a few other jurisdictions, but in limbo in the United States because you're being protected from having safe financial products. We're now just days away from D-Day. Will we see the SEC finally approve the first Ethereum spot ETFs in the USA? In this video, I'm going to try to break down the situation for you, what we know right now, what the heck is going on with these Ethereum ETF applications, the three warning signs that show, we're probably going to get a denial. Fingers crossed, of course, that we still beat the odds and get an approval. Make sure to stick.
Could you imagine if we got an approval, though? Like the first time around? I doubt it. They're definitely going to stretch it out. There's no chance. There's no chance we're getting an approval. But if we did, that would be epic.
Around until the end of the video, too, where you can find out why the outcome of the ETF decision doesn't even really matter all that much, to be honest. Ethereum's price,
I think it
aside from maybe a little hiccup on the day or a few days after, probably going to be okay. And of course, what could happen next? Well, right now, there are 7 applications on the SEC's desk for a spot Ethereum ETF, including from BlackRock. In the months leading up to the Bitcoin ETF approval in January of this year, an Ethereum ETF felt like a certainty, man. The good times were rolling. It was great. At one point, the approval odds were at 70% from key Bloomberg ETF analysts. It sounded like a matter of just when, not if. And honestly, I still believe it's when, not if. I think that's still the case, but the when may not be as soon as we want it to be. But after a series of delays, the odds have gotten less and less for an approval on May 23rd. Now it's crunch time for the SEC. The dates to watch out for are in this order. May 23rd, which is the final decision, will be given to VanEck Ethereum ETF. They'll probably deny them all at the same time, to be honest, but still, we have one following on May 24th. That'll be the final decision on ARK Invest's and 21 shares ETF. The following week, we'll also see a final decision on the HashDex Ethereum ETF on May 30th. BlackRock's final date, by the way, is August 8th. So maybe that's when we get them all approved. Now, if one of those gets denied, again, it's likely that there's...
Yeah, what do you guys think? August? I think it's more likely in August when BlackRock's denial date comes up. I think that's probably better. Gives them a couple more months, right? And it also, I don't know, BlackRock's kind of, how do you deny them? I mean, they've only ever had one denied.
Will get denied too, and it'll just be game over for everybody. But let's not forget, again, Fidelity, BlackRock, they're in the mix. They're here. With the success of BlackRock's iShares Bitcoin ETF, can the SEC really say no to BlackRock for their Ethereum ETF? Well, after all, remember, BlackRock's only ever had one ETF rejected out of 576 applications. The rest have all been approved. And the guy who denied that one, never heard from again. No, I don't know if that's true. It's probably not true. I'm just making that up. Anyway.
Well, that's actually kind of funny. What was the ETF that was denied? Does anybody know? Throw it in the chat if you know. I can look it up, though.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens. We'll have to wait, of course, until August 8th for the final decision on that one. If that gets denied, Wall Street is really ready to sue probably the SEC for real. This is no joke. JP Morgan analysts have already said the SEC is likely to face a legal challenge, aka these companies are going to sue the shit out of them and that they will eventually lose. JP Morgan's words. So what are the odds of an ETF approval in May for May 23rd?
He's a little amped up today.
Well, before I talk about the warning signs that point to a denial, I'm just going
to let's skip that.
X. Now, unless you have been living under a rock, I'm sure that you will have noticed the difference between the run-up to the Bitcoin ETF approvals and the ongoing Ethereum ETF saga. It's crickets out here, man. It's crickets. Ethereum pessimism, very high right now. A night and day difference. That's your first warning sign. There's been radio silence from the SEC and barely any amendments filed. We did have a few the other day removing staking. Maybe that's just a last Hail Mary pass. We'll see, but it ain't looking good right now. VanEck CEO said back in April, we filed our S1 and we haven't heard anything back. So kind of a worrying sign that the SEC is not really engaging with any of the filers right now. And it won't happen without getting the disclosures documents in order.
That is very true, Ms. Randy Hipper. Gemini got denied in 2013 for a Bitcoin ETF. Very true.
Then ARK invest in 21 shares.
Imagine if that didn't get denied. How crazy would things be right now? That would be nuts.
Removed the section for potential staking from its Ethereum application, which kind of sucks because staking make these ETFs way cooler. Anyway, the SEC has requested public comments on BlackRock's application as well. So there's signs of life. It's not a totally dead process, but again, it's very minimal and nothing like the constant back and forth racing last minute to get everything signed and dated and cross the T's and dot the I's, all that kind of stuff ahead of the Bitcoin ETF approvals. However, Grayscale's chief legal officer believes the SEC's silence may not actually be as bad as it looks. Hear me out, because the Ethereum ETFs are basically an exact copy of the Bitcoin ETFs that have already been approved, aka they don't need to have these conversations. The groundwork's already been laid. All they have to do is approve. And without
well, they have the futures, right? So it's kind of hard to deny something that you already allowed halfway in.
Staking, it's exactly the same as Bitcoin. Things like custody concerns, creation, redemption procedures, everything's already been figured out for the Bitcoin ETFs. Again, this is just a new asset with the exact same parameters. But unfortunately, this doesn't change the odds currently. The second warning sign that a denial could be coming is the awful odds. So they're no longer in our favor. It's all been downhill since Bloomberg's 70% approval chances mid-January. Since then, Bloomberg's approval odds have fallen to 60% in late January, 30% in March, 25% in April. Now their approval odds are stated as slim to none. And these guys do ETFs for their full-time jobs as they live and breathe it all day long. Bloomberg analyst Eric Balkunis has even gone as far as saying they probably won't see the light until the end of 2025. Crazy. So what the heck happened, man? Well, this last warning sign was just uncovered by analysts after being buried deep in the SEC paperwork on like page 50 or something. Could be the final nail in the coffin for these ETFs. A filing from March 4th shows that the SEC is required to provide notice of the grounds for disapproval under consideration. In other words, the SEC is perhaps considering denying the ETF applications on the grounds that Ethereum is a security and not a commodity, in spite of the fact that Gary Gensler himself has argued that Ethereum is a commodity when he was a professor at MIT, not now that he's the SEC head. This means that the ETFs have been improperly filed as commodities. Interesting. And thus they do not qualify. So this isn't something Bitcoin ever had to deal with because its classification was super clear from the get-go. And the Ethereum security question is this real last-minute thing by the SEC. So if the Ethereum ETF is denied this month, well, what could happen next? Well, let's not forget that physically backed Bitcoin ETFs were denied on and off for an entire decade before one actually got approved. And Bitcoin's price traded just fine without one. Oh, now that the ETFs are here, oh, we're going hard, man. I love it. We had new all-time highs without it, though. Okay, every cycle. So maybe Ethereum just carries on as it always has, not needing the ETFs, moving up and down in price according to Bitcoin's movement and general liquidity flows in macro, in crypto, all that kind of stuff. Ethereum's price may be impacted in the short term. Could see a sell-off on the day when the denial happens, but with the stage set for the bull market, Ethereum will no doubt follow Bitcoin's lead higher. And if you believe an Ethereum ETF is still a matter of when, not if, then traders, of course, will be focused on the when part by accumulating for when it does happen and when those fireworks finally do get set off. In the meantime, Ethereum still has a massive opportunity for growth without the ETF, right? Staked supply going up all the time. The amount of staked Ethereum has grown by 78% since its Shanghai upgrade in April of 2023. Only 27% of the circulating supply of Ethereum is currently being staked, which is massive, but also still leaves a lot of room. Ethereum is the biggest proof of stake blockchain by market cap, but when you compare its staked supply to other layer one blockchains like Solana or Sui, for example, they tend to range between 48 all the way up to 81% staked. It shows that with or without the Ethereum ETFs, the network still has a lot of room to grow in terms of increasing demand for staking. And this is only just the beginning, not the end, especially if we see stuff like liquid staking and restaking and all that stuff to continue to grow on Ethereum layer 2s. And speaking of Ethereum layer 2s, they also are driving huge demand for Ethereum right now. And a lot of that wealth creation will eventually make its way back to the Ethereum mainnet and, of course, the key Ether asset itself. So if Ethereum can continue to drive up the amount of tokens being staked on the network, then, of course, the FOMO may just be enough to push Wall Street to pile on more pressure to the SEC to get those gosh darn ETFs approved, man. Then, of course, depending on what happens in the election, the SEC could see Goldman Gary and his team kicked out the door in favor of a more crypto-friendly ensemble. So whilst there are a bunch of uncertainties right now, markets never like uncertainty, but there are a bunch of uncertainties right now around the future of a spot Ethereum ETF, Wall Street is not going to give up without a fight. They want it. They see the economic opportunity, and they'll get it eventually. Maybe it's just as simple as waiting for August 7th to roll around for BlackRock to become the first Ethereum ETF. Maybe that's what we need to do. Anyway,
who knows?
Can you wait a few months?
Let's see. Shout out to Lark Davis for that. All right, move on. Last but not least, Altcoin Daily, BlackRock Bitcoin ETF Q1 data is mind-boggling rather. Let's see what he's got to say over here. This is about 13 hours ago. Let's do it.
We're actually in a really interesting point right now because we're getting the 13F filings where we're seeing whether professional investors are allocating to these ETFs. And there are a huge number of really iconic firms allocating to these ETFs.
I have more confidence today than any time in the last 10 years of being in crypto that in 12 months and in 24 months, more institutions will be engaged in the space and the space will be bigger.
These ETFs are being adopted by professional investors. We're learning that right now. And I suspect we're going to see the inflows from that group accelerate in the second half of the year.
BlackRock is quietly becoming one of Bitcoin's biggest whales. Bitcoin ETF Q1 data is in, and the data is mind-boggling. These numbers have blown away records. This information is publicly available for those who seek it. I will update you in this video, smash the like button, and send this info to one friend who could really benefit from learning what's going on with these Bitcoin ETFs. The more you
doesn't even know
understand,
what
the
Bitcoin is.
wealthier you can be. BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF numbers have just been revealed. They have attracted 414 institutional holders since launch. Analysts are saying this
Very
has blown
sus.
away all records. We're talking about senior ETF analyst for Bloomberg, Eric Balchunas. He says IBIT, which is BlackRock's ETF, ended up with 414 reported holders in its first 13F season, its first Q1 filing, which is mind-boggling, blows away records. Even having 20 holders as a newborn ETF is highly rare. Here's a look at how the Bitcoin ETFs in all compared to other ETFs launched at the same time in January, aka the class of 2024. These are all the Bitcoin ETFs. Look at how they compare with number of holders versus others. Look at the interest we're seeing for institutions to buy Bitcoin. And why not? When BlackRock's CEO Larry Fink comes out and says, we are very bullish on the long-term viability of Bitcoin, our ETF is the fastest growing ETF in the history of ETFs. Nothing has gained assets as fast as BlackRock in the history of ETFs. This creates FOMO among institutions, and we're seeing that. Who are the biggest holders of Bitcoin through the BlackRock ETF? Well, the largest institutional holder of IBIT is Millennium Management, LLC. The second largest is Schoenfeld Strategic Advisors, LLC. And the sixth largest is a U.S. state pension fund, Wisconsin Investment Board. That's notable. And then comparing the other ETF issuers to BlackRock, Fidelity has 235 institutional holders, Bitwise has 98 institutional holders, ARK 21 Shares has 75 institutional holders, and Grayscale Bitcoin Trust has 619 institutional holders. And GBTC is now seeing positive inflows lately, no longer plagued by the sellers of the GBTC Bitcoin ETF that we saw in the first couple months. The total net Bitcoin ETF inflows are back to being positive. After plateauing for a couple months, we are starting to see more buyers than sellers, an uptick in buying pressure. You can see that here. And with all this success, we're seeing more CIOs and CEOs and leadership taking to the press. Bitwise CIO says Bitcoin ETFs are a huge success and their Q1 filings make him incredibly bullish. This is Bitwise CIO Matt Hogan. Listen.
You mentioned that the Bitcoin ETF was the most successful ETF launch in history. That's an interesting claim, but update us on where we are. What's total assets under management, and parse out, of course, Grayscale's, what did they have, 27 billion initially in the whole game? Where are we at, and how is the suite of spot Bitcoin ETFs trading relative to Bitcoin?
Yeah, they're doing fantastic. They're tracking Bitcoin's price virtually perfectly. They're trading at very tight spreads, and they're charging low fees. So for investors, they're often the lowest cost, most liquid, most accurate way they have to gain access to this space. And that's really exciting. We love doing that with the Bitwise Bitcoin ETF and BITB, and our competitors do with their ETFs as well. There's maybe $50 billion in assets, north of $10 billion of net flows. Flows have restarted after taking a few days off. We're actually in a really interesting point right now, Bob, because we're getting the 13F filings, where we're seeing whether professional investors are allocating to these ETFs. Those filings are due May 15th, but they're already a large number in, and there are a huge number of really iconic firms allocating to these ETFs, well north of 500 professional investors making investments, including firms that manage money on behalf of Yale and Princeton and others, firms like Hightower Advisors. These ETFs are being adopted by professional investors. We're learning that right now, and I suspect we're going to see the inflows from that group accelerate in the second half of the year. So from any perspective, a massive success, and I think that success will continue and compound in the second half.
And it's incredibly easy to understand why institutions, even the likes of Morgan Stanley, are buying spot Bitcoin through these ETF wrappers, because ETFs itself make Bitcoin incredibly easy to buy.
And it's easy to see why this is the case, Bob. These, everybody loves ETFs, the most popular investment vehicle in America. They're low cost, they're highly transparent, they're very liquid, they're extremely familiar. You can put them in any brokerage account where you can dollar cost average, you can rebalance, you can do tax loss harvesting. Really easy to own and manage, easier than the complexity of Bitcoin directly. And now that they're available, everybody who has always been curious about Bitcoin or has been wanting to do Bitcoin but has found it daunting to engage, now can do so in the easiest way, most familiar way possible. And that's why we're seeing the flood of tens of billions of dollars.
Wide guess here, at least.
Mr. Allset, dude, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships, dude. You're awesome. Much Train, Randy Hipper, we have Plox, LOL, Red Jasper, and Wolf Moon. Congrats, guys. That's awesome. Look at that. And Randy gets her emojis back. Hadouken to you, sir. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
It's $5 billion a month in inflows going in just in the last 4 or 5 months. That's a pretty good number.
It's by far a record-shattering event. This is, if you compare the flows that went into GLD, which up until now was the record setter for asset flows, these ETFs have shattered the record. The amount of money that has flowed in such an incredibly short period of time demonstrates investor interest in this and the consumer build-up and the excitement behind this. And yet, as Matt has pointed out, relatively few RIA firms or institutional investors or major Fortune 500 companies have yet to participate. This is going to be coming over the next couple of years. It's going to get very exciting.
So how can you not be bullish on Bitcoin?
Crazy.
With the Bitcoin halving just happening, we are here. The orange.
Look at these charts, man. Look at the charts and look what happens. Man, obviously this one right here, right? If you look at 2020 to 2024, this rise up here wasn't as significant as 2016 to 2020, right? It's probably about half the size, but even if we get about a half the size, man, we're still going over 100K.
Orange circle.
Wild.
Billionaire investor Mike Novogratz, he sees, and through his fund Galaxy Digital, he sees Bitcoin ranging in this range for a little bit longer. Eventually, Bitcoin breaks out of this range. I'll let him explain it.
Something really significant happened in the last 6 to 9 months.
Where was this? Whose podcast is this? Does anybody know? Please let me know if you know.
And that is, with the adoption of the ETF, there's been a psychological shift amongst institutional investors in that this is now an industry. And well, we all thought it was an industry for a long period of time.
Yeah.
You know, people are lending us money unsecured. We've got phones ringing off the hook with potential partnerships. Every big institution is figuring out what tokenization is going to mean to them. And so I have more confidence today than any time in the last 10 years of being in crypto that in 12 months and in 24 months, more institutions will be engaged in this space and the space will be bigger. Just feels like everything's kicking for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
There's a resurgence of the, oh my God, the economy's slowing down narrative, which will be helpful.
All right, who's this guy? Does anybody know? Business Untitled? Is that what it's called?
Like I said yesterday, I don't think Bitcoin takes out the old high, the 73,000 high, unless we get the Fed in action or we get some big regulatory breakthrough.
Yeah.
And those are both probably low deltas. So that's why I think we're a bit of a range.
Yep, that's it.
I said 65, 75. It's a pretty big range. I'm sorry, 55, 75.
It's a big range.
It's probably
It's this right here. Interesting. I'll put a link in the chat.
probably closer to 57, 73. Like we've probably
Never
put the
heard of
low
it.
end, the high end
Yeah.
right now until the next move. And I do believe the next move is up because I do think we're going to get closer to the election. Powell's going to want to cut rates.
Hey, real quick, you should join us at...
Nope.
I hope to see you there. So, I am incredibly bullish on Bitcoin at this point in the cycle. Coinbase's app rank got nowhere near where it was last cycle, becoming one of the top 3 apps. And actually right now, Coinbase's app rank is down 85% from the March highs of this year. However, in the last 2 days, up 17%. The point is, this crypto bull cycle is just getting started. Many more gains ahead. The crypto market remains resilient despite short-term fluctuations. The Ethereum Etf final deadlines for VanEck, ARC21 shares, and Hashdex are this week. The consensus in the industry is that these will probably get rejected. Some people are speculating that August could be a lot better with Fidelity and BlackRock. Their final deadline's coming up. That's true. These Ethereum ETFs could get approved by August. This is actually how I think it's going to happen. I think all of these will get rejected, including Fidelity and BlackRock. BlackRock might pull out last minute because they don't want that rejection on their SEC ETF record. But then, after the August deadlines, they all refile, and then whether it's September, November, December, maybe January of 2025, then all of the Ethereum ETF applicants get approved.
You know what? If that happens, if these Ethereum ETFs get approved towards the end of the year, typically the bull run, you know, the peak of the bull market's usually towards like December, January-ish, like that area, right? Like 2 or 3 months tops. If that happens at that same time, how could we not see a super cycle? Like, how are things not going to explode? Like, just completely explode? I don't know.
That's what I think is likely to happen.
That's
These
my
will
opinion,
get approved
if that
eventually.
happens.
Not this month, probably not even August, but late this year or the very beginning of next year, if they all refile, I think that's when these get approved. Now, besides that, we're waiting to see if Joe Biden follows through on vetoing a policy that would be ultimately good for crypto. Joe Biden vetoing it would be bad for crypto. We're going to keep you updated on this.
We talked about that actually on Saturday Night Live.
My name is Aaron at
Shout out to Altcoin Daily. All right, let's get into the recap segment of things. See what we're looking like over here. Bitcoin is $67,081 in the green. Solana, wow, look at this, 5.1% up, pushing $177. Got Ethereum still at $3,089. It is holding pretty strong over 3K, which is good. WIF is still up on the day. Dogecoin, Shiba, Pepe. Shiba's down a little bit, but meme coin's looking all right. Nothing really jumping out at me, but damn. All right, things changed a bit here. All right, WIF is up 11.9%. Interesting. $2.73. Sui is up 6.3 now at $1.09. Solana 5.6% up to $177. Pyth Network is up to 44 cents, almost 45 cents, 8.9% today. And Theta Network is up 7.9 to $2.30. Nice. All right, let's see. Flashbang, Fear and Greed Index 70 over here. All right, let's see. Price of Flux, where's that going? Still 89 cents. All right, nothing else really changing on us, guys. Everything's looking pretty good. What's it? Dion? I don't even know how to say that. I'm gonna try. Not even gonna try. All right, let's scroll through. What do we got? Actually, you know what? I kind of want to see just for shits. Let's change this. Let's change this to 200. Top 200 coins. Let's see. Look at this. We got Pendle up 12%. 12.6 to be exact. $5.33. X is down 7.8. Ooh. What's going on with that coin? Actually, that guy, did he ever get caught? Or is he still running from like being in trouble? Does anybody know? Let me know in the chat. Vertcoin. What? You're all about Vertcoin. I remember you mentioning this like a month ago. Vertcoin. Oh wow, it is having a pump. 7.9%. Nice. Look at that. Damn, that did have a jump. Weird. 6, 5. Yeah. Interesting. That was the last like couple months though. 3 months. That's kind of sideways, huh? What does Vertcoin do? I've never really looked into what it does. Or anything like about it that's like special? I would assume not, but who knows? All right, let's see. Pulse Chain down 12.8%. Damn, that's terrible. Brett is up 8.3. This is in the top. Damn, it's in the top 200. Ranked 186. They have a $371 million market cap for this Brett token. This is the isn't this meme coin on base or something? If I'm not mistaken. Popcat's there, 8% up on the day, 38 cents. Anybody into that? Ranked 178 at a $381 million market cap. What the hell? They have what? MAGA, Trump, 4.8% up, 197, $8 per coin. What? That's funny. I feel like I've seen that before, but I never realized it said Trump on the face of the bubble. Weird. Let's see. Boom. This one, Book of Memes. Anybody into this? 1 cent. Interesting. See you later, Miss Teen Crypto. I'm gonna raid you in a second. All right. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Just wanted to see what we were looking like over here. Let's go to 500 to 600 quick. Interesting. What is this? Chat. 11% Soul Chat. What is this? Solana Chat? Probably not. Just Soul Chat. I don't know what this is, to be honest. I have no idea. $6.32. There might be no correlation, but the colors are the same, and it looks like it would have to do with it. It's probably built on Solana, if I had to guess. Interesting. Actually, if I see... How do we see more info on it? Soul Chat. Yep, built on Solana. All right. It sure is. Interesting. Yeah, see, like, these are the coins that, like, if you go to, like, the top 1,000, super risky plays, but, like, see this one. Boom. This is like slot machine gambling over here, right? You're throwing your money in, hopefully it hits something, and you have no say over it. It'll happen or it won't. 83.7% up on whatever this was. Aria coin? Aria coin, if that's how you say that. I don't know. 1 cent, 1.5 cents, just about. That's crazy. These coins can seriously just pump. What is market cap? 17 million. Like, see, the low market caps are the ones you can make some money on. But like, this is all like really gambling, guys. So just be careful. We got the Jesus coin over here. It's down 10.5%. The hell? What in the hell? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what any of these coins are. Anyways, guys, everything's looking good. Happy Monday. That's gonna do it. All right. Let's see. Any last questions in the chat? How's Zephyrus doing? Zephyrus is doing good, actually. You know what? We'll check that for you, because I looked earlier. It was down 50%. It took like a huge hit the other day. 2 days ago, right? Down to $2.40. 50% move down, and now it jumped back up yesterday, and it's back to I guess only 16% down from there. So $5.39. Not looking too bad, but like for me, man, I guess like what caused this giant run up? It went up to 50 something dollars. Like, that's crazy. And to have it down to 5, that's really bad. Like, why did it take such a big move and then dump down? I don't know. Anyways, guys, if we get to 100 likes, that would be amazing. I'd love you all. All right, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get my kid to like her first like orientation at school. It's crazy. My kid's going to school this year. It's nuts. Time flies, man. Time flies. So I gotta take her there and yeah, meet the school and the teachers and all that. So that's gonna be real fun. You guys have a great, safe, and happy Monday. No, not preschool, kindergarten. Be going into kindergarten, actual school, elementary school. All right, anyways, guys, have a good day. I will catch you guys bright and early tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time ish. Team Crypto is going live in about 10 minutes or so. Yeah, 15 minutes. So get over there. We're gonna raid you guys. You can stay put and they'll bring you right there. Have a good day, guys. Catch you soon. Peace. More solar videos to come.
Perfect.
Gaming with Smokey Dan, your band. Peace.